What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we are going to be going over none other than Japanese Tuesday. So there we're going to cover a few decks. We're going to look at what's topping this week, what's pulling ahead, and without further ado, let's get into this video, shall we? So first off, Red Black Greymon is doing what Red Black Greymon has always done, and that is dominating the format. We're looking at 19% leading the pack at 31 decks. Wow. This deck is going to probably keep climbing, and I wouldn't be surprised if this reaches 100 by the end of the format. Beelzemon's trailing behind it, though, which isn't bad. 21 tops is really good, especially proving that Purple hasn't had a deck really dominate a format in, I don't think, ever. This is proving that Beelzemon is a real contender. So if you guys are big Beelzemon fans, be ready for that, in my opinion. Then you have Hunters at 15, followed by Blue Flare leading the pack at 14. Then you have Bloom Hydro Quartz, Alteress Jogris, Machine Red Hybrid is 8. 7 for Machine Dramon. Greysknightmon is trailing in the pack. This is that combination deck between Knightmon and our good friend Blue Flare. So this combination seems to be working quite well, especially getting 7 tops in JP is a decent compliment for what to see. Then we have Gammamon holding strong, Crossheart, Shine Greymon, Dark Knightmon at 2, Jessmon at 2. Then you have Blue Green Imperial. Security Con is starting to sneak up into the format. Then you have All Force coming in after a little bit of weeks of nothing. Then you have Grandis, Rust Tyranno, D Brigade, Mirage Gaugo, Ravenmon, Shakomon, Aegis Dramon, Examon, War Greymon. Yes, you might be wondering what's the difference between that. If you guys really want to know what that is, I'll make a short video on this and we'll talk about it. Then Alliance deck finally making a top, and we're talking about that today. Armor Rush, Seriousmon, we're talking about that today. Bellastar, and Yellow Hybrid. So if we took a look at that, that's 157 decks so far into the meta, and that's not bad. I think that's pretty good to see for a meta. We're not even fully through EX-4, but I might at the end of it pull the data from BT12 and EX-4 because they're kind of just same until they start meshing in together. So we'll see what that has in store for us. So, as you know, I pull most of my research data out of this website here, Digimon CG Guides. This really does help out get you guys the information in a proper forms of means because, again, you can't always follow everything, and most people that you get the sites from anyway are from the Twitter polls that use CG Guide, and then there's some that get mixed in on, like, Digimon Meta, but there are some lists that don't get onto it because they can't always pull from this. So first off, we're going to talk about is the Seriousmon deck, aka Gammamon. This actually took a sneaking top, which is not bad. Today's tournament tamer battle winner is Alex, deck Blue Star. So it was a fun duel is his comment. Congratulations on winning. Also, thanks for participating. I'm kind of happy that the promo did a little bit of something, but let's get into the deck full breakdown here. If many of you don't know about the promo, it's when Digivolving by placing a card with Gammamon in its name from your hand at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution card. This Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP for the turn, but when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. If this Digimon's DP is 12,000 or more, delete 2 of your opponents with 6,000 DP or less. So, being able to manipulate board state is really decent, actually. I mean, being able to pop what would be classified most champions off the board, not a bad trade. I think that's pretty solid. And this Digimon gets pretty beefy on his own, so it's pretty good to see. I don't know what his matchups were. Sadly, they don't always post their matchups to get a more understanding, but using like Berry Claw to get that extra 1,000 DP, and then just having Hero just be Hero, get that extra security check. But what's really amazing is like Vital Gammamon, it gives you Blitz. Gauss Gammamon gives you Retaliation, and then on deletion, you may play one Gammamon from your trash without suspending. You know, the card you really need to be into to get into Sirius is Kanos Weismon anyway. So he gains, when one of your Digimon becomes suspended, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP for the turn. Then, if this Digimon has 12,000 DP or more, it gains security +1. But it also gains all the effects of your Gammamons, and its inheritable gives that to the next thing on top. So, that's pretty decent there. And, you know, this Gammamon will give piercing. This one makes it unblockable. Just a lot of potential here in the deck. You know, you have Gammamon that gives plus 2,000 DP if you have a hero. You have Gammamon that deletes a 6,000 DP or more. If this Digimon has 6,000 DP or more, delete a 3,000 DP, but also lets you draw a card. Gammamon's Gammamon. If you play a Red Tamer, this Digimon can attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So this really does help out just because it can lead to really interesting lines of plays. The deck has so much potential, especially with Promo Hero giving all that extra security checks, because as long as you get a Piercer, you can just deal some major damage. Then Hero's Hero, you know, giving that extra DP boost really does matter in some instances. But all in all, the deck has potential, and I can't wait to see what the Rebirth set does, because the reprint set is going to do a lot for this deck in itself with all the new cards. Then we're going to talk about the Alliance deck. This one topped recently 8 people today winner, and this is basically Terriermon. I mean, congratulations, even though it was 8-person locals. I know a lot of people don't really get to see Alliance go off, especially since this is the first Alliance top. I had to talk about this. So, we're going to take a look at this. As you know, how Alliance works is that basically when this Digimon attacks by suspending one of your other Digimon in play, add the suspended Digimon's DP to this Digimon, gain a security +1. Really solid there. I think that is really what the deck really wants to do, is just keep applying pressure that way, especially since most of its rookies allow them to Digivolve further and go into ultimates and play into it. What's really interesting and what's really spicy here is the Imperial Digimon Dragon modes here. So, you know, Fighter mode and Dragon mode. When Digivolving, if you have a blue Digimon in this Digi-Evolution card, suspend this Digimon. If you have a green Digimon in this Digi-Evolution, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So, he lets you go further. I think that's really important there, Imperial Digimon. Let me just read this real quick. Suspend 2 color from your hand, paying its Digi-Evolution cost. When this Digimon would... Oh, okay. I see the potential here. So instead of going for the Cherubies, they're going for the Imperial Digimon Dragon mode, cheating in. Especially since all it takes is the Alliance. Now you gain the extra boost in attack security. Oh my goodness, I see the potential here. I see the dynamics. I really do. And that's not a terrible play. An attack, you may Digivolve this Digimon into a Digimon card with Imperial Digimon its name in your hand for its Digi-Evolution costs. When this Digimon would Digivolve by the effect, reduce it by 2. So then you can go right into Fighter mode. I see the potential, and I see the shenanigans you're trying to do. So it's really spicy what you did with the Imperial Fighter modes, because they can Digivolve into it at a reduced rate, which I don't think that's bad. I think that's really a lot of potential, and it gives some decent pressure that way. I mean, even the Entilemons just going at it is really solid, and I think that's what you need to do. And I like the Quartzmon spice here, because after a little bit, if you're really worried about your opponent just out pressuring you, you lock them down. Quartzmon is a hard Digimon to remove if they don't have the answer right away. And if they do, then your deck should be pretty fine, because you get over big numbers anyway. So I see the potential of this deck. I like where it's going. I think it just needs some fine tuning, and this probably could top more. So I definitely like talking about these kind of decks, because splashability, interesting dynamics, and especially when they get something spicy like this. So I'm very happy that I was able to cover this. And as we know, Alliance is a underwhelming deck just right now. But this could change if people are looking at these kind of lists. This would bring in the spice you need. And then Greysknightmon. Ooh, baby. Let's see. Deck Blue Flare. It is said the next will be the Twilight Access. Ooh. So a little more Blue Flare base, but it does have Greysknightmon focus with Dark Knightmon splashed in. This is usually how it kind of goes. There's nothing too out of the ordinary there. Usually you splash in just enough of the Dark Knightmon package to make sure your synergy's there. Usually the Blue Flare stuff is a little more consistent and powerful, as we know, but as you can see with the Dark Knightmon here, play one of your Digimon, gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. Then if you Digicross, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. I think that's really good. I don't think this is powerful enough. But again, if you Digicross even just for one, I mean, Deadly Axemon just enough to reduce the cost by 2. So that brings it down to a 6 cost. You get the Digivolve, give it blocker, and then on deletion, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 Blue Flare or Twilight and trade among them to your hand, trash the rest. And then this card is just really to go with Greysknightmon. When your opponent's Digimon attacks, if this Digimon is Greysknightmon, you may switch the target of the attack to this Digimon. So it's not a bad trade-off, especially with Greysknightmon's preventative measures that's in place. All turns when this Digimon would be deleted, return to your owner's hand or deck. You may play 1 Metal Greymon, 1 Dark Knightmon from his Digillusion without paying its memory cost. Just a friendly reminder, if you have both Dark Knightmon and Metal Greymon underneath, you have to play both. And a little bit of tidbits is that since you aren't... When you would play a Digimon with Digicross requirements by spending this tamer, you may place cards from under your tamers as Digievolution cards. If I remember correctly, the Kiriha can't activate for both. You can only get one, or I could be wrong and they don't activate for either or for the on play for underneath your tamers because they were played simultaneously. That might be a thing too. I can't guarantee. If anybody knows 100% on that ruling, let me know. But outside of that, we have like Deadly Axemon, reveal, on play by trashing 1 card with Blue Flare and its traits from your hand, draw 2. And then reveal the top card of your deck. If this card has Blue Flare or Twilights in its trait, add it to your hand, trash the rest. I mean, just to fuel the Kiriha and Nene is really just powerful enough in its own right. And you're just going to try to get into Dark Knightmon, Greysknightmon. It's a very interesting fusion Digimon, and I have no objections with it. And then on play, this is, the new Metal Greymon is an on play. This Digimon gains Rush for the turn. If this Digicrossing, choose 2 Digievolution cards under one of your opponent's Digimon, and then trash them. That's useful in my opinion. Being able to remove particular ones out of there is really important in some matchups. And I think if you're going to walk in with Blue Flare, you should be ready for anything. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You know what to do. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay and peace.